Good evening. Good evening, good evening. I am still Blue Moony, fantasy writer and shy magical library in human skin. Oh, hello. It's so lovely to see you here. Yes, we are only just getting started. And, well, not just getting started with NaNoWriMo, are we? We are exactly halfway through now. Or we will be once I'm finished the writing session for today. And honestly, I think I'm feeling it a bit. Though I'm not sure. I'm more feeling, writing fatigue or something along those lines, or whether it's just because my cough just keeps getting worse. I'm sure I've had it from just a few days after I started streaming. And I know my coughs tend to linger, but it just really is not the best time in the least. Oh well. I am doing my best to remember to mute the microphone before coughing so I don't damage anyone's eardrums. Let's have a practice. I can still do it. Hooray. But yes, definitely feeling it a bit more in the lungs. Halfway there, yes. Yes, we are. Very slightly over halfway, but again, I worry some people might not think it counts, given I'm writing most of it in my very messy, splat note form style. And a lot of it are just notes to myself as well for world building that I have to do in the future. And all the names. I've named next to nothing in this story because I need time to think of good names. I know I should have just thought of placeholder names to throw on everything, but it didn't occur to me at the time, and we are already halfway through Nano, so I should probably try to focus more on just getting the story down, as I've been trying to do. You need something tangible to edit, it counts. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I don't like comparing myself to other writers. I do my best not to because it helps bring on the bouts of worst writer in the world syndrome, which unfortunately still happens a lot. I think I'm better than I used to be about it, but it still hits, and it still hurts when it hits. Like I mentioned the other day, oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the hearts, sending them right back at you in a somewhat bluer shade. Thank you. Yes, I think I mentioned yesterday that not long ago I tried opening the first chapter of my main magical project to try to cheer me up, because normally when I read that it just makes me so happy and makes me grin and everything, but I guess I was just in completely the wrong state of mind for it, and everything just sounds terrible again. I know it's not all awful, but there are a few things jumping out, and I haven't even finished the second edit of that story, and I'm already contemplating the third. Oh dear. So, just over halfway there. I'm a little concerned that I'm about to hit a wall. No, bad brain. I know. I really need to get better at wrangling it. It's just... it can be difficult sometimes. I'm just so used to that story making me so happy, but I'm sure once I'm finished it and it's in a form that I no longer allow myself to edit, I'm sure then every time I'll read it, it'll make me happy, hopefully, because at least it's finished. Oh dear. But yes, I have the sneaking suspicion I'm about to hit a wall with this story, with this Nano story. Mainly because I do not have very detailed notes for the next few chapters. First of all, let's have a look at the stats. We know what they are, but let's just have a quick look. Jumping over here, watch us go. Where are we? Here we are. Yes, 56%. Not bad, and 27,898 words out of 50,000. Oh, I'm a little sad because there's 2 badges here that I cannot get. The update progress every day. As you know, there were 2 days in a row where I was unable to write for various reasons. And here it's, achieving par every day. So again, every day did not happen. That's okay, we should still we'll get 40,000 and completion, hopefully. Assuming, nothing goes too terribly wrong between now and the end of the month. Oh dear, let's jump on over to Scrivener. Where are you? Here you are. Yay. Every day not feasible. No, generally not. I was a little disappointed because, the reason I planned to stream every day was because, it's NaNoWriMo. I'm going to be writing every day anyway, so why not stream it? And let's make it so I don't write unless I'm streaming. Well, did not consider that, outside events would prevent me from streaming and therefore writing. That was short-sighted on my part, but I wouldn't have been able to plan which days to skip out in advance anyway. So, deal with things as they happen. So this is our very, very brief outline for what I'm still calling Chapter 6, even though it's probably going to be way out in the Chapter 11 or 12 at this point, because everything we've done before now is way too long to be just one chapter. So all of these will be split into at least 2. Oh, this one will be definitely 3. Liot gets 3 chapters in a row here. We're introducing him to the new life. He needs time to settle in. This Min chapter, just the one. It'll be fine. We only need 1 here. But I'm guessing this Liot one will be at least 2, with all of this, well, more getting into the life sort of stuff for one of the chapters. And this first meeting that he has with not only his team, his support team, but also his new guardian, who we know from the last time we wrote with Liot, does not like him, did not want to get him. Because the way they did it was each guardian to be drew a number, and the first one gets to choose first, and so on and so forth. Oh dear. So I just had a silly thought of doing it more like White Elephant, but that wouldn't really work. Because then, unless he went first and picked someone else, and then, everyone else kept stealing until he wound up with Liot or something. Suppose that could make it funnier. I'll just add the note at the end of the chapter as a consideration for the next pass. Okay, make guardians, selecting a chosen one. Oh, I don't really know what to call them. Ward? I think that's the right word. More like, wait, elephant. He was smug that he got number 1, but the others just keep stealing. You want to know what White Elephant is? I didn't for a long time, and until I played it one of my Christmases in Japan. It's yes, how is it? Everyone brings a gift. Everyone draws a number. The number 1 gets to pick a gift and open it. And then the next person can either open a new gift or steal someone else's gift. So this couldn't be exactly like that, but keeping the stealing, maybe. Oh dear. Could be more fun. But then maybe if he knew it would be like that, he wouldn't be... Oh, well, possibly smug number 1, but wasn't really paying attention, but then quickly realizes I'm in trouble. Oh wait, American English, no S's. I don't know. It's a thought. Make it a little bit more fun, maybe. Okay. Back to this Liot chapter. Yes, given it's given my outline is none too detailed, and given I'm, starting to feel the pressure and the tiredness and everything, I'm not sure how this is going to go over the next few days, honestly. But we'll do our best. I might just start out by going briefly over the things that need to happen in this chapter. I won't worry too much about the meeting yet. I doubt I know we're not going to reach that tonight. So we'll be looking at that either tomorrow or the next day. Let's focus on this part. Oh, rest when needed, health most important. Thank you. Thank you. I will do my best. I still want to attempt to stream and write every day. I'm probably going to try to make myself stop when I hit par for at least the next week or so, given how far ahead am I? I think I'm, also assuming I hit par tonight, I think I'm roughly 2 days ahead, so it's a little bit of breathing room, just given I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if there'll be any more days I'm not able to write and stream. It shouldn't worry me, given I said at the beginning I'm not aiming to reach 50,000 words, but given we're doing quite well, I would very much like to hit the 50,000 words. Oh dear. Anyway, we'll go briefly through these notes. And then I'm wondering whether I should think about any random prompts that could help me move through this. Or, if I look at each note here and just think of a random small event could do in relation to the very general ones here. I mean, some of these I can just, what I've been calling soft montage my way through it, which I should probably be doing more of, given it takes up much less space than going into detail with events and everything, which I guess is just what I more naturally do. Oh dear. Okay. I can focus. This is something that I can do. Okay. Let's have a look. So, brief outline. Well, when in doubt, montage. That's a good motto to live by. I wonder how many things it can be applied to, though. Writing, at least. Possibly art. Can you montage life? Well, I suppose everything becomes a montage eventually, the way memory treats things. Possibly even a montage of, mostly your own invention. Yeah. I'm not 100% trustworthy of my memory these days. Nor even possibly 50% trustworthy of my memory these days. Oh dear. Okay. Getting uniforms and more goodies. I'll at least focus on the uniforms. I'll think of the more goodies part later, because I was already having trouble thinking of more gifts being dumped on these kids. They should probably get reasonably ridiculous at points. Oh dear. Okay, so at least with the uniforms. Oh yes, that's important. I remembered something. I said at the end of these Liot chapters here that the next day they'd be starting school and starting everything, but I think they'll give them one more day. Whoops. Wrong point. That's okay. One more day before school starts, because they haven't even received their uniforms yet. Oh dear. Excuse me. Water. Watch me procrastinate. Oh dear, we still have the background music on. Let's change that to some lovely rain. Off we go, and lovely rain. Please do let me know if it's too loud or if it's too soft. We need to have our rain at just the right volume. Doesn't bother me. If I start to get annoyed by it, I can just mute it. So yes, please let me know if I can do anything to the rain levels to improve your stream viewing experience. Okay, so with the uniforms, I was thinking we could be, in Liot's room, surrounded by more goodies that have been dumped on him. Possibly to avoid going into too much detail, we can just have them wrapped as gifts from various organizations and important people congratulating him. I can later just list a few of them. But if we can't see them in the wrapping, that will make it a bit easier. But in Liot's room, roommate, housemate, whichever it is, the apparently nice one, the one who's nicer to Liot at least. I think she is, schmoozing in her way. Yeah. But, yes, can have her in there modelling her new uniform and doing twirls and talking and talking. She does talk a lot. I'll probably just have a sentence or two and then just indicate she's still going. Oh dear. And Liot. I don't want him to try it on yet and just have it, laid out or hanging up. Wait, it was put there. A bunch of them hanging up, and maybe roommate can grab one out of his cupboard and hold it up against him and try to. Well, if she tells him to try it on, he probably will. We can do that. Okay, let's give this a go. I don't think I'm going to attempt, proper writing, grammatical, sentence, inclusive writing. Just get it down, get it all down. Oh dear. I think I've been making the puzzle analogy more for my writing. But I think it's more that it's a blank puzzle, and we need to put the puzzle together first and then we can paint a picture on it or something like that. Oh yes, puzzle and paint style writing. It's a terrible term. I won't be patenting that. Anyway, puzzle and paint, right, let's do it. Let's just puzzle first. Okay, so we'll make it evening. They only just got uniforms. And we can talk more about weather here because, they do experience weather in the inner city. It's just much harder to appreciate. Whereas here, windows, skylights, absolutely everywhere. Maybe it could be the first time Liot really sees a storm. Definitely would have heard them in the inner city and seen the occasional flash, maybe, but wouldn't ever have been able to bask in a storm. So evening, so storm. Not that he'd be basking, he's probably jumping at every thundercrack. There wouldn't be any skylights in his room, I doubt. He's not on a top level, but lots of windows. Need to figure out more of architecture and the shapes of windows and how that's going to work. Not right now. I don't want to think about what she's actually going to be saying. I'll figure it out properly later, but probably, just gushing over detail and such. Twirling, posing, trying with and without, jacket with and without, hat, various combinations, holding her bag in different ways, changing hairstyle. She could probably keep doing this for a while. Dear. I haven't actually figured out anything about what Lalaya looks like, have I? That would be a good way to spend some words here so I don't have to think too much. Okay, briefly. Let's think about Lalaya's appearance. I can spell. Sometimes. Apparently not right now. I think I made exactly the same mistake I did before. Okay. Anyone want to decide what she looks like? Well. Well, it's probably fairly normal. Not all the time, but probably the majority of chosen ones are, tall, trim appearance, generally stereotypically camera friendly, but details. Tall, trim, camera friendly. Tells us almost nothing. We'll make her pale at least. Before figuring out colouring any noticeable features. Why is the only thing coming to mind a double cowlick? How are we going to show that? It happens. It looks pretty cool, but can't really appreciate it, looking front on at a person. Oh dear. What else could we do with Lalaya? Well, let's go with sort of honey blonde brown hair. Wavy-ish. Let's go shoulder length. Oh goodness me, this just feels. I know writing people's appearances aren't superfluous, but when I read books, I tend to get a little bit annoyed when authors just sort of flatly describe every character you come across as their appearance. I know not too many writers do that, but when it does happen, it aggravates me a little bit. Don't worry, I'll possibly do it in a previous chapter, but I will work her appearance through the prose and not just give it a paragraph. She was this, she was this, she was this. Okay. Stereotypical blonde hair, blue-eyed. Excuse me. Sorry. Muted to cough. Well, let's just go with the wide blue eyes and we'll figure out a better shade of blue. Possibly a pretentious shade of blue. They know who they are. Yeah, probably cerulean. Sorry, cerulean. We're only a little pretentious. You're also very pretty. I am personally partial to using cornflower blue. There's just something both, very soft and appealing about the term cornflower, but also, it's got this little, how do I describe it? Not tough exactly, but curious, I think. It's a curious sounding shade to me. I think for a while a story which I never wrote, I was calling the boy with the cornflower eyes. So yes, that may be why I am partial to using cornflower blue. Oh dear. But I suppose it would be a little odd here, given Liot has probably never seen a cornflower. Oh dear. Well, I suppose we could always just use sky blue, because he's probably using a lot of sky analogies right now. Sorry, that was a lot of time for not very many words. Let's keep going. Liot sitting on his bed. Eyes towards her, not really watching or listening. Not after the first 5 minutes or so, anyway. Maybe briefly, sort of how his relationship with Lalai is developing. Likes her, or thinks he likes her, anyway. Definitely not used to the way she seems to think. The way she talks, seems to think. Keeps saying things that makes Liot head spin, but most of kids, have that effect on him. I'll probably need an example there. Probably should add, he's not sure why she's attached herself to him. Sticking up for him, trying to, be friendly with her friends. Sure. Yes, he has not worked out yet that it's, not entirely because of his fate levels, but I have a feeling Trouse will point that out fairly quickly, but that may be why. It's not the only reason. I think she does actually like him. Or perhaps it's just, she's a little surprised that she likes him, and that's, another reason she's attached herself to him. I don't think he can really drop a hint. He doesn't want to upset her, and knows he couldn't deal with the fallout if he did. Oh dear. So got startled by more storm sounds. This is right on the edge of the canyon, which means it's right where the tiered levels sort of flowing down into the canyon begin. I'm wondering if, in my head I feel, I don't see in my head, imagine a sort of fish scale effect going down there, with a lot of it being covered areas, but others being balconies, and they're sort of interchanging, so all the enclosed areas can join together around these balconies, all swooping down into the canyon. But yes, maybe they have no, they probably wouldn't have a balcony. Would they? I kind of want to give them one, but I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. They're on a raised level already, and the flowing down to the canyon would start at ground level. But can look down on it, so maybe goes to window, looks down on the cascading fish scale, like balconies, and I don't know how to really describe the enclosed areas. They're just lots of buildings throughout there, but all joined together, even if it's just by tiny little covered pathways. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to see it splattering, it's too high up, unless I pop them on a lower level. I think I put them on level 7, I think. Still don't quite know how this building, how the layout works, because, all the dormitories for the Chosen One cohorts are there. And the cohorts can get pretty dang big. I mean, they start off small, but they accept more and more inner city kids every year as their fate levels explode. So lots and lots of dorms, but it's also each cohort has their schooling areas there, and each cohort has their own dedicated area. But I suppose I was seeing this building more broad than tall. It's just really wide. I guess I imagine it's sort of arena sized, because on the opposite side of the canyon, taking up the same footprint, is the city arena. Oh dear, I am doing too much talking and not enough typing. I'll just say watching the rain splattering on the tiles. Well, possibly they have a very small balcony, but then he wouldn't be able to look down so easily into the canyon. Or could he? Maybe. I'll just throw them down anyway. Figure it out later. Maybe have him sort of picking up on some small beauties the way Min does. Might be a nice way to show sibling connection there as well. So if there's any plants on the balcony, just watching the rain drip off fronds. That's nice. I like to do that. Repeating. don't know what it is yet. I will figure it out later. Not sonic, stink, sink. How many uniforms can prepare for them? It'd be a lot. I mean, you know, got school 6 days a week. So probably 8 of each, so there's spares, and you know, even though each one will probably be washed every day. I should probably up here, you know, describe the uniform. I haven't thought too much about it yet. I want each cohort to have their own uniform. You know, they each have their name, their cohort name, their cohort uniform. There's probably a cohort motto for everyone. I mean, there'll probably be a few similarities between them. The main thing being the city colour would feature in each. So I imagine some would be, you know, entirely red, and others would just have it as, you know, minor detail. I think I prefer theirs to be, you know, like a smart grey with bits and pieces of red. Maybe red blazer, but I just have it. I like grey. I can make someone else's entirely red. Should we do that to Trouse's cohort? I mean, it would be pretty striking. And not sure technically red is Trouse's colour, but I think Trouse could make anything his colour. So yeah, I might do that to them. They can be dripping in red. Ah, yes. If anyone, by the way, can think of a lovely term for the colour red that is not red or scarlet or crimson or blood, I need a name for this city that is red, but not red. Yes, I think I've mentioned it several times now. I'd finally thought, yes, I want these pretentious colour names to be my city names, but yes, Pokemon exists, so that makes it a little bit difficult. They laid claim to pretty much every single pretentious colour in existence already. That doesn't mean I can't use them, given, you know, it's not like it's copyrighted or anything. Or what is it? What's the term? Patented? Patented? Patent. Patent. Something like that. Yes, I so wanted this to be Vermilion City, but probably will not be. Oh dear, I've made them red. Yeah, that's the colour of my main character for my main magical project. Of course I made them red. Oh no, excuse me, I'm making myself cough. Ugh. Oh dear. Okay. Oh yes. AY. Performance or formal. Probably don't need 4 of them. Let's just go with 2. We're totally giving him a cummerbund because cummerbunds are amazing. But can I even spell it? There we go. That's not so bad. There it is. I have not updated my word count yet, but I don't think it's going to be very impressive. Let's just have a look. 28,282. 28,282. Update progress. There we go. How are we doing? Just looking at my stats. Oh dear, not even 400 words yet. I think I'm in trouble. Okay. Dear, why am I hungry? I have eaten plenty today. But I am hungry. because I am not doing so well on words, so it's trying to make me go and do something else. Yes, so their initial schedules are much lighter than what they'll become soon. Still pretty heavy, really, but they haven't sort of been assigned any elective classes as such. They haven't fully gotten to know the kids and figure out their strengths and talents and likes yet. So it's just the sort of base classes at the moment. And there's, slight variation between each student's schedule at this point, but Liot and Lalaya's, they're completely matching right now. Most of them are in the same big class, but they've also got same tutors for everything, same times. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, montage this. We can montage it. Oh, I didn't talk about the goodies. Let's just throw that in there. feel a little too much saying it's a nightmare. I suppose for Liot it could be. And he's not going to be, late or lost for anything, because the liar's just going to be pulling him around. There is a little bug crawling around on my desk. Hello, little bug. You are a distraction. You should continue seeing to your little bug business, and there he goes. Oh no, he's on my drink bottle now. Oh, and off. Now on the monitor. Bye-bye, little bug. I feel like I should do one other class description and then, disastrous initial gym thing, even though I do want Liot to actually turn out pretty good with sports. He's just never really pursued it before. What other classes? Science. I need him to make a big mistake first lesson. Of course, something that could have been disastrous to happen, or something alarming to happen. I don't know, some sort of chemical mix gone wrong. Just classic. I still haven't generated a huge list of names to pull from when I need to. Keep meaning to after each stream, but I keep going to bed instead. How dare I? dear. First gym, I suppose the first gym would be some sort of physical assessment, I guess. So what can we do? Run a distance, climb a thing, balance on thing. Athletic poses? I don't know. I don't know, just some sort of classic, basic obstacle course thing. Some kind of, what are they? Monkey bars? What can happen at lunch? I think Leop's still, and probably will for a very long time, be marveling at the food. I mean, more like half the time he barely notices, and the other time he's just completely overwhelmed by it. Okay, so that means that's a language lecture, but this science one, that's a practical, like straight over his head. In the practical in the lab session, that'll do. Don't forget. Quick rinse. Then lunch. probably before going into the classes. Just, yeah. Schedule just, lectures, labs, small classes, tutors. Excuse me. Can't really go into detail with what's on every day, just give a general idea of how it works. I mean, we should already know from earlier what all the classes are. I'm not settled on it yet, but yes, a basic idea of how their schedules look. In my mind, I want to do something along the lines of how the days were divided up in the Tall Towel stories by Tamora Pierce, with the night training. It was always all of the morning or all of the afternoon on either classes or physical training. I feel like there'd probably be, I suppose it depends on how long they're at school too. Well, given they're not trained to be knights, probably not every afternoon or every morning just on the physical training, but maybe a few times a week. And when they don't have the whole time, they just have a smaller session. The smaller ones, probably more personal training style ones. like they do, maybe Liot. Looking up more of a relationship with this kid. I don't think this kid is really close friends with Lalaya. I don't think they dislike each other. They're just, not close. Acquaintances only. I like the idea that there's another kid that Liot can just kind of talk to. I need to find a level they can relate on. Possibly over cards. There's a card buddy. And possibly, I was going to have either Greener or Faye, Trouse's friends, take on Lalaya as a mentee. So Liot has some company, but maybe the other one can take on this kid. Except I can't. I know a lot of these things aren't going to be explicitly said, but I think I still need them as notes here, so I know how to shape things to hint at things enough that it comes across. Let's update the word count, hopefully slightly better than before. 28,986. 28,986. 986. How are we doing? Oh, we've passed 1,000. That's something. Yes, I should probably stop after we hit par today. And yes, as always, par is 1,667, not... Well, today it says 1,381. Again, that's just how many words I'll need to get today in order to reach the 50,000 on the 30th, given however many days I am ahead now. So where am I now? 1, 2... Well, I'm a little above 2 days ahead still. I think I just also want to show contrast between upper city kids, that, you know, they are not all the same. Oh dear. What's the thing she'd be really good at? Shall we make a, performer? Might change my mind. I said she was good at science, didn't I? Maybe she looks up to the researcher. We already do science, but more specific scientific arts, perhaps. Well, I want between here and then. This is not about cards we've played before. Never had time to learn. We ought incredulous. I need to say maybe not quite such a nightmare after all. just get quickly through this day. Here I go again, creating massive ensemble casts. Sometimes I wish I could just write, a simple, fun story with one main character, a few side characters, and just get it done. Excuse me, sorry. I guess I kind of like the idea about making these three a bit of a friendship trio, even though I don't know if Lalaya and this kid, whatever I call them, exactly what their relationship is. Definitely not dislike, and at one point more than acquaintances. Still, I'm not sure. Friends is the best term. I think they both interest each other. They probably would have known each other for a long time. I don't know, I think I want to think about it, but given it's probably not vital to the main story at all, probably shouldn't give it too much thought. We can just play with the relationship on the surface level. Oh, maybe this kid has a reasonably low fate level, not yet. If he'd been an inner city kid, no way would he have gotten in. But all kids born in the upper city automatically get in because, yes, figured with all of this attention, their fate will go up to the required levels. I'm not sure what happens when it doesn't. It's probably just they're very quickly, you know, the lowest level of chosen one and still called chosen one. Yeah, when Lala is saying these things, I don't think she's, accusing him of anything. She's just stating, she's gossiping and being insensitive about it. I don't know anything about this kid yet. Oh, should we make the mum one of the 3 leaders? This could be useful. I'm glad we randomly created this kid this session. Definitely gonna have to get a name for them. Excuse me, sorry. I think this kid will help the layout chapters along a lot. Again, I'm glad we've got this kid now. Okay, we've been through a bit more with classes. Next day, possibly in his room that night. Okay, well, first of all, say, first card game night. Him and kid and the liar wandered in after a while. Tried to join him. next few paragraphs about being the subject of biggest topic of gossip. I'm just going to update my word count and then run out for just a quick moment. 29,445, 29,445, 29,445. We've almost hit par. I might just try to get through this gossipy section. Suppose we can do gossipy stuff over the next few days of school. Would also mention here, kids could be called for meetings. Teams for new city kids, also with guardians. Okay, I'm going to hit my emergency save, even though it saves automatically. And I'm just going to duck out for just a moment. I'll be right back, sorry. Thank you so much for waiting. We're back now. I realized I haven't mentioned anything about the drones yet, and that seems to be something that would help make the first day a bit of a nightmare. Maybe around here when we're just right after lunch, maybe during lunch, the drones. Describe the drones during lunch, and then I'm not trying to. How about he does actually smash it? Not gently. You want them to be very quick. That's why Liot's so amazed the boy grabbed it so easily. Font. Drones. Let the kid in. Well, completely matched except for solo stuff up here. Maybe the kid can phrase him talking about his mum. But here it is. And phrase it like, you know, their embarrassment child. I've only just started to get to know him, and I think I already have another favourite character. This kid. Oh, yes. Isn't it wonderful what having no idea what you're doing at the beginning of one writing session can suddenly create a lovely new character who I think is going to help us through a fair bit of this story. I wonder if we could possibly send this kid with Liot and the hunter to chase Min. I mean, if this kid's mum is one of the leaders, she'd probably see it as, an opportunity to fast track, raise his fate, force it to go up. I mean, she's probably tried a bunch of things to force it up, but this is a good thing to force it up. And plus, having her kid with Liot, for everyone to see, they're a pair. She'd like that. She'd like that a lot. Oh dear. I mean, I don't know, as soon as she starts seeing that her kid's becoming friends with Liot, although possibly she could have told this kid to become friends with Liot, and that's what it initially was. But it very quickly turned into, yes, we're actually getting on very well. So I'm just going to toss that into these notes here. Probably. I think it'll probably come out fairly early. I don't want it to be a big secret. I think I want the kid to admit it fairly quickly. I want this to be an honest kid. We need more honest people in the upper city. Okay, so kid. No name yet. I will do my best to generate a list of names after streaming tonight. We need a good solid list of names to draw from for these side characters, and apparently less side characters, more, semi-important supporting characters. Kid was instructed by mother to befriend Liot. I think that works very well. It's not some big secret he, she. There, we don't know anything about him yet. Trying to keep mother probably that, probably told them to keep it a secret. But he doesn't care. They don't care. Nope. I'm not sure whether it'd be from a question from Liot. I doubt it, but maybe just something random makes the kid think of it and admit, oh yeah, my mum told me to become friends with you. What is it actually liking? You may pretend liking you a whole lot easier. Oh, I do like this kid. I suppose he's already given me some slight Brioc vibes, but I don't know, he doesn't really have Brioc's brazen confidence and that sort of stuff. This kid's more sort of offhand than Brioc is. Oh yeah, I wanted to make the note about because I was wondering whether I could send Lolaye with Liot and the hunter just to sort of, have a bit more going on there, given Liot and the hunter probably aren't going to be chatting very much. But I just couldn't think of a good reason for the liar to be going, but there could be a really good reason for this kid to be sent, so I like this. I like this. It's making things much more interesting. Unfortunately, also probably adding thousands and thousands of words to the story overall, but I'm already expecting an end word count of at least 200,000, so I'm trying not to beat myself up too much about that. Oh, excuse me, sorry. I need to stop making myself laugh, because every time I laugh, I descend into a minor coughing fit. Okay, does the kid go with Liot and the hunter sent by Mom to force fate to increase? We've already tried a lot of things to no avail. Yes, and also, showing other side of the fate spectrum for upper city kids, I think is an important thing to do. Could be a little interesting. I mean, I suppose this kid as well will, very quickly have eyes opened when learns more about the inner city. And how he's probably got a fate level lower than a lot of people in the inner city, but because of who his parents are, who their parents are, gets a pass, and how's that fair? Leaving the kids' low fate to the side, we do probably need a specific, really, really good skill for this kid. I haven't really got anyone being a marks person yet. Maybe this kid's got really good aim. They haven't got a character profile yet. I can't really give them one without a name. But just kid needs talent. That'll do. Oh dear, poor kid. We'll give him something. We'll want this kid to do something reasonably impressive, probably in the end game fight. Well, there wouldn't be either Min or Liot's champion, because Trouse and Briok have that covered, and we need that battle, don't we? I definitely need that battle. Oh dear, it's gonna be good. Honestly, I'm not really used to fighting person-on-person writing person-on-person fights. I tend to do magical boy on monster more often. So I'm really going to have to work on that one. There's going to be a few really good fight scenes, most of them with Briok in them, funnily enough. But yeah, Briok and the Hunter will have at least one, possibly more fight scenes. There will be this, hopefully epic Briok and Trouse fight. Made even more epic by the fact that they are both sort of, it feels weird to say they're both in on it when, they're fighting for opposite sides, but they are on the same team secretly. So, yeah, and we know that, but they need to make this fight good. And, Briok's already quite badly injured at this point. So, Trouse has to go as hard as he can without permanently damaging Briok. And yes, it's going to be good. I shouldn't think about it too much. I'm probably not going to be able to actually write that scene for a very, very, very long time, given how long I take to write anything. But yeah, thinking about it's good. I'm getting more and more jazzed for this story. I mean, I always liked it, and I chose it for Nano for a reason, because I thought it was doable. And, you know, at the time I thought it'd be something I'd just be able to write out and get done. Well, clearly that's not happening given the note form writing I've been reduced to. Not reduced to. I usually write like that, but I was worried writing like this wouldn't be very interesting. But anyway, thinking about in-game battles helps the beginning a bit, I guess. Oh dear. I suppose it's a little odd having two protagonists, neither of which are involved in the... Well, they're involved in the fight, but they're not involved in the fighting. Min chucked someone over her shoulder last chapter. She's not going to do much else by ways of physical fighting. That's not her role in the story. It's not really Liot's either, although the feeling he actually does learn fairly quickly. And he'll probably just get better when he's on the hunt for Min with the hunter. I keep calling her that. She's Nico. We're calling her Nico. Nico's guardians probably get some pretty interesting lessons from them. Well, you know, not from Nico, just from watching her. Oh dear. I'm rambling on tangents. How's my word count? 29,790. 29,790. Update progress. Okay, we're past par. We've almost hit 30,000 words. We're on 20... Oh, I just said how many we're on, didn't we? 29,790. Well, I might just try to jot a few more notes down for the gossipy stuff. I don't think I have it in me right now to actually think about what the gossip actually is, besides, you know, him, fate level, where he came from. I'll have to go into a bit more detail, but... Oh dear. Okay. So... Never walked. Yeah. Voices lowered and whispers picked up. Tried to ignore, but it's quickly started. Well, not quickly, but ears pricked up every time I heard his name. Gossip about, well, fate level, origins. No, personality. I'm wondering if we should mention this early, the more nasty gossip that I think's brought up in more detail a bit later about people speculating that he killed his parents with his high fate level. Because, you know, protagonists don't tend to have parents. And Min and Liot's parents did die very suddenly and tragically several years ago. So yes, it can be brought up here, but then it can be sort of leveled directly at him later. Okay. So not actually saying outright he killed his parents here, but just sort of hinting that there's a pretty strong correlation there. And it could probably just be phrased here, you know. Not usually, but you know, well, the big ones, the important ones. I don't know how to phrase it. How to inner city chosen ones. The big ones. None of them have parents. That means, well, I know Brioc was an upper city kid. He was born there. But Trouse, I want Trouse, he came from the inner city. And he would have been picked up early, and yes, it would have been when his fate exploded. And his parents were probably collateral of his fate explosion. Not a literal explosion, but he suddenly has this much fate, and people with that much fate are protagonists. And protagonists don't have parents. I'm just having a little bit of fun with that trope, and the chosen one trope in general. It's a little satisfying. I'm not a huge fan of you know, chosen ones in stories. Sometimes it can be done well, but it's, you know, I make a point in my main magical project to say, no, this is not your fate. It is not your destiny. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time. You're a convenient hero. You are not a chosen one. Yeah. So yes, I guess I thought the idea of having a city full of chosen ones could be interesting. I'm not sure I'm conveying it well enough yet. That's okay. Some instances of liar and kid sort of, you know, sticking up for him / stepping in / changing the subject sort of thing. Well, the liar would be more the type to just sort of, you know, loudly deny something and not really go into much more detail. Kid would probably be more nonchalant and sneaky. Need to go back to these notes. Okay. And so after this, we'll be going into more detail about. I'm pointing at the screen. I don't know why I thought this would be useful for anyone. Yes. Yes. Meeting teams. That stuff. And I know I said in the Liot chapters previously that the inner city kids would be meeting with their guardians and their teams, but you know, all the other kids would be meeting their assigned teams as well. They just don't need to meet their guardians because for the most part it is their own parents. Oh dear. Well, I'm feeling a lot more excited about the story right now than I did when I started today, so that's good. It's always good to get a fair bit done when you thought you were going to get nothing done. Yeah, I'll probably use this gossipy chapter as a chance to describe some more locations in the school and dorms in a bit more detail. Just the chosen complex. can also throw them into a few more classes. And how Liot's doing. Yeah, it takes Liot a while to sort of settle into most of his classes. I mean, in the one-on-one things, you know, he starts to do a little bit better fairly quickly. But I think initially the only one-on-one class is the personal trainers. Is with the personal trainers. But yes, in a few chapters from now, Liot's, you know, reasonably humiliated in relation to school. Yeah, because I'm guessing the main reasons he never did very well in school was because he didn't want to go because he didn't know how to handle people. And that's still definitely the case here, but he's getting a lot more personal attention now and a lot more, you know, trying to figure out the best way to help him shine. So I think that will help a lot. Oh dear. Well, if we're stopping for tonight, let's check our word count. We haven't quite hit 30,000. That's okay. 29,936. 29,936. Update progress. Let's jump over there and I'll show you. There we are. See, 29,936 of 50,000. Here we are, just under 30,000. 1, 2, 3. So we are almost 3 days ahead. Almost. So what percentage are we at right now? Oh wait, let's just go down. At this rate, we'll be done on November 25th. Hooray. And look, I'm still stressed. I did over 2,000 today. Whoops. Not whoops, but yeah. Percentage, where are we? 60%. Of course we are. Yay. Okay. Well, let's close that and save that. Oh dear. Sorry, I could think. I think I'm just a little dazed right now because I was not expecting to get nearly this much done. Oh dear. I think I feel good about this. More dazed, but good. So for some reason I need to save it again. And go over here. Okay, well, given we made past par, we are almost at 30,000 words, and I didn't get through quite everything for what will be this chapter, but came reasonably close. And best of all, we created a new character who I think will be lots of fun and very helpful. So I think it's, you know, a very sensible time to finish tonight. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you. It's, you know, much more fun to do this when you're all there. Oh dear. I think I am just still feeling, wow, that progress was actually made today. I'd sort of resigned myself to a nothing day. So, not a nothing day. Always lovely. Okay. Sorry, head still spinning slightly. How many times have I gone sorry and gone off on the same tangent? Many times. So, finishing up. Plan for tomorrow is, yes, going into talking about kids are starting to go to their meetings to meet their teams. Bouts. I'm not sure whether... I kind of don't want them to be scheduled. I want them to just be called at random, because that's more nerve-wracking. Let's just throw that down so I don't forget. It's not very organised, but, you know, I think in this situation, other people's convenience matters more than the kids. But, well, yeah, with the meetings for the upper city kids, it will be the same. Their parents would be there, so it would depend on their parents' convenience as well. Guardians. Convenience. Yeah. More important than the kids and their teams. Convenience. Oh dear. Oh, how many words is that? Still not quite there. 29,963. I'll still update it. Creeping closer and closer to 30,000. Sorry, I've just been doing some typing and you haven't seen it, have you? It's okay, it wasn't very much typing. Let's go back here. Just added that short note about the scheduled meetings, or not so scheduled meetings. Right. So we are done for tonight. Thank you again so much for coming and bearing with me. Hopefully enjoying this weird insight into this particular writer's mind. And good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely lovely, because that's what you deserve. Okay, it is time to sing. I'm a little concerned given my lungs protest. I'll just try to get some coughs out now. And we will see how we go. Okay. Of all the money that e'er I had, I have spent it in good company. Oh, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night, and joy be to you all. Until tomorrow.